KARCHEV the Terrible, Khador Warcaster.
I have already given one life to my country. The motherland has granted me a second, and before I pass on to your kin, I will use it to send many more before me. KARCHEV the Terrible.
For over a century, Commander Alexander KARCHEV has crushed his enemies for his beloved mother nation. After enduring the worst horrors of war anyone can imagine, KARCHEV chose a tortured existence encased within the shell of a warjack, rather than accept the peace of death. His sheer brutality and astonishing control over his warjacks makes him among the most feared of Khadorian warcasters. KARCHEV was already a respected Grey Lord Magzev and the decorated warcaster past 40 winters when the Thornwood War broke out in 511 AR, and he had led a battle group on the Khadorian left flank during the Battle of the Tongue. On the heels of the retreating Signarans, he pushed on into an ambush that decimated his foes. Although he was gravely wounded, he knew he could not wait for the arrival of reinforcements. He instead drove forward to assault the enemy warcaster, Colonel Drake Cathmore. The ensuing duel destroyed KARCHEV's body, even as it killed his foe. Despite his horrific wounds, KARCHEV refused to die. Desperately, he clung to life until he was discovered on the battlefield and returned to the motherland, where his life was mechanically sustained. Though he survived, his shattered limbs could not be saved. Others in his position would have faded into obscurity, but the highly decorated war hero confronted the high command and demanded a mechanical body be built to let him fight again. A decade later, he was presented with an iron monstrosity built around a modified berserker chassis that combined the life-saving machinery that he needed with the shell of a warjack. This new body gave KARCHEV the mobility he longed for. Over his long years of service, he has taken to the field in numerous mechanical forms. Some were retired as new innovations replaced old, and others were left devastated on the battlefield. The High Command views KARCHEV as a national treasure. He is a brilliant arcanist and officer with more than a century of battlefield experience. KARCHEV has access to a depth of military history unparalleled by anyone outside the immortal generals of the Krix. The High Command listens when Commander KARCHEV speaks. Indeed, Supreme Commander Idris personally chose the commander to accompany him in the final assault of the Signaran fortress of Northgard, where he cut down General Hagen Cathmore, a descendant of Drake Cathmore. Despite the agony inflicted upon by the very machines keeping him alive, the venerable warcaster has cut a broken and bloody path across western Emerin. Spending the majority of his life entombed within the hull of a warjack has given KARCHEV a special affinity for his machines. They serve him more like a pack of hunting wolves than mindless machines.